Flooding the market, a break from the garbage. An artist, sensitive about mind pardon. No margin for error, flawless be rarer. The black cat goddess, you walking with a panther. Painting these pictures with words like Samantha, MacGyver. Alchemy on the track, make it lava. And I won't stop rocking till I retire. Singular or plural, she break numero uno. Colder than you.
Hey, it's your girl, Madam Money, aka Trap, and welcome to the official Salt in the Game album review of Skyzoo's All the Brilliant Things. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get it. Now, Skyzoo has never, failed us ever. He drops a project, it's going to be a strong project. The last couple of years, starting in 2018 with In Celebration of Us, 2019, Retropolitan with Pete Rock on production, last year, The Bluest Note and Milestones, and now this year, All the Brilliant Things. What an amazing discography that he has. But before I even get into the album, I just want to talk about that artwork that's associated with this project real quick, because it's crazy that this is supposed to be like, the middle of Bed-Stuy, you feel me, Franklin Avenue, Fulton Street, and they have built these luxury apartments over there, and it's really crazy that he's showing you this like gentrification process that's happening. Franklin and Fulton Street is where like the shuttle connects. If anybody in Brooklyn nigga, you would understand that. But to show that these luxury apartments are like in Bed-Stuy being built, and all of these things going on in this area right there is like just really crazy. It really just sets the tone for the project, because you would never see that type of thing happening way back in the day. Like this corner was a real like seedy corner, you feel me? And so to have it turn into this thing, it just really set the mode. I thought that was just really strong coming in there. I always tell y'all, like, I'm from both parts of the style, you feel me? I'm from Biggie side and I'm from Jay-Z side. So early on, you feel me, I lived like 1615 Fulton Street, and this is something like 1164 Fulton Street that he's showing you over here. And I thought it was just really just sets the tone for the album if you understand the area and understand where he's from and what's going on over there with that. But let's get into this fire project with all this money that we can make. Now that's how it starts off a cappella. A lot of us know that song from Mace's album, you feel me? But that's like a that like set the tone, because I was wondering why, and it's a running theme throughout the album, like, why that particular phrase, why that particular thing going on there. But he really just uses this as one of the many layers he has going on in this album. The first track on here, Free Jury. I don't do this for Complex or Pitchfork or any other facade where the culture is determined while chugging a PBR and telling you how to represent all of the shit you made while they move into your building with their roommates. And that's exactly right. And I respect just that element right there. Everybody who tries to dictate the culture and tell you how to represent the culture ain't about the culture and want to take over the culture, even want to take over your style, your living space, your quarters. So this thing of gentrification is shown throughout this whole thing, as well as a whole bunch of other things that's going on there. But I thought it was really just a dope, like, just set off track on here as well. He also reminds you of his discography in full on here as well too. It's something that, he is one of the most humble, he got a track on here, Humble Brag too, but he's one of the most humble, skilled artists that we have. So for him to go through his discography with you and let you know, like, you feel me, I've been here, I've been doing this, and this is what I've been doing. I thought that was really dope that he had, like, remind you of that shit off of the rip, you feel me? Also, the beat switching to Dear Summer at the end is crazy. All the little music and samples and stuff that he uses here, we're gonna get into that a little bit. Now this next track, St. James Liquor, this produced by Kenny Keys, and everything on here has this jazzy, I don't want to call it undertone, I don't want to call it an overtone, it's a real fusion of hip-hop and jazz of what's going on here, you feel me? But this track hit me over the head so hard, where he's it's a flashback track, right? But he's talking about himself and how long he's been spitting and him on the come up and stuff like that. And then he goes into talking about Big on the project and seeing Big and seeing the evolution of Big and how he was always outside and stuff like that. You know, St. James Liquor shooting dice like who nice. You know, see me in the street, they be like, yo, he nice, but that's on the loto. Like those type of things is going on here, and just like it hit me over the head. St. James Liquor, this is where Big is from. So I thought that was really, really interesting coming into this. Really, really dope project, man. It's like it's so hard, this project to me. The next track on here, A Tour of the Neighborhood. This is produced by Thelonious Martin. And this has Ill Al Scratch on here and all this, come around my way, come around my way, and like just really sticking to this idea of gentrification. He has a line on here. He said, they built a winery out that same number spot, and it's just crazy how, you know, the things that we have in our neighborhood, like a number spot is illegal, and they turn it into something like so high class and so high element. It just reminded me of like, even what they do with the food with us, and oxtails and all these things are now these high price item things that we needed to survive and struggle with and stuff like that. This album really, really hit me hard. Being from Bed-Stuy and stuff like that, it really, really hit me hard just to see from somebody's eyes who live, breathe, or always been around there, how they feel about these things going on. You feel me? It's just really, really dope project that just have a strong message attached to it. You feel me? And he doesn't let up on you. Next track on here, Rich Rhetoric. This is produced by Market Finnet. Jazz heavy track on here, top tier lyricism, and it was on this track because he's talking about the rich on here, Rich Rhetoric. This is what he's speaking about on here, but it was on this track right here where I realized what was going on. That he's using these jazz elements of like the Harlem Renaissance, where the community was like really, really, really ours, and we're really proud of our community. And he's using these, late '80s, early '90s hip hop beats and elements and stuff in there where we started depreciating our own community and stuff while he's talking about what is happening now in the community. And I thought that was just a real dope trifecta just to show a timeline period where he's using the jazz influence where our community was strong to the rising elevation of hip hop where our community started to depreciate in value to now they're being elevated again, but it's not ours. And the way he's showing that is through his words. And I thought this is like just so, it's just so dope. It's so ill when a rapper can just come in and like really, really make a point and stand on it and not let you down and not bore you at all, not being preachy about anything going on. He's really, really just talking to you and entertaining you through this process. Like this production on this album is amazing. Amazing. Next track on here, Bodega Flowers. And this is featuring BJ the Chicago Kid. And it's just like giving this thing of like giving people their flowers, but we're giving them bodega flowers. We're kicking it off like just just like really mind blowing to me. Sometimes I caught myself being a little speechless on here. He has the respect that heads high, killing with the no reference on here and stuff with all these elements going on, and he using things from Do the Right Thing where those points were being put across even then in that movie as well. But he's using the mayor with these flowers to try to soften up what is going on here a little bit, and I really, really respect that as well. This is like just so dope, like just so ill to me. It's crazy. Next track on here is Something to Believe In. This is produced by, I don't know, it's M3IRK. I don't want to mispronounce it or whatever have you, but this was so crazy because even when it started off, the keys that it started off in, it starts off playing like Brooklyn Zoo to me, and then it has this element of It's Yours, and then it has My Life in the Sunshine, you feel me, the original going on in here, and all of these other things going on in here. This has Raheem Devon on here as well. It's just like just so amazing what he's able to do sonically with all of these things going on here. You know, he says on here, we a product of Ziplocs, they a product of TikToks, and that just shows you the like the dichotomy of what is going on in the neighborhood right now. This was really, really, really just fly stuff. Next track on here, Humble Brag, produced as well by Mark Infinite. He does a lot of stuff on here, and this has nice and smooth on the production on here, like old to the new, new to the old. And like I said, he's using these elements on here just to tie in these these time periods of his generation growing up and showing you those block elements from that time period to what's going on now. Like this is a this is a like a real Grammy worthy body of work. Like, you know, I hear him say in that opening track he not really, really like into anything like that or need to do anything like that. Or, you know, he's not doing it for that. But this right here, like really just across the whole entire board. It's just a really, really fine project. Next track on here, I was supposed to be a trap rapper, and this was oh man, this is crazy. This is produced by J.R. Swifts on the track. Like he goes into this thing on here, and I don't want to mess up his bars at all because like what he's able to do here is just so dope. But he comes on here, James Baldwin in a room of Frank Lucas and Nicky Barnes and all of the influence, and it's just like, you know, the poet in the room middle of all of these, you know, hard drug dealers from, you know, that like just out there getting into stuff like that. It just really adds a little extra layer to that errorism that he has put in front of us on here. Really, really just dope stuff. He said the nerve of me trying to flood Fulton Street with Dilla beats and just crazy. It's a dope sample in here too. But the last 30 seconds on here on I was supposed to be a trap rapper, it turns into an unequivocal trap beat. You feel me? Where Skyzoo is murdering the trap style in 30 seconds, like really, really, really. I was supposed to be a trap rapper, so he shows you that he could have been a trap rapper, and you know he stayed true to himself, and he didn't go that route, even though that was an easy route to go to for him. Because in that little 30 seconds there, you know the problem we all say with trap rap is that there's no bars and it's all mumble rap and stuff like that. He's spitting clear as day in the trap style, and it's just like crazy. I don't really think it was for him to show his versatility off, but just to let you know, like what y'all do is easy, and I say that a lot. Like, you know, like lyricists and stuff like that, they could fall into another lane as easy as they want. But can these other lanes fall into a real lyricist lane? And I don't think so. And he's just showing you right here exactly that. This was really, really just dope stuff to me. Next track on here, Plugs and Connections, and this is produced by STLNDRMS. Every producer's name on here is like crazy and weird and stuff. I don't want to mispronounce it, but they have worked a lot in the past on previous projects. And this has like that dance hall theme to it. He played a little bit into it on the other track with the, you know, the head tie reference, but on here it's a like hey diddle diddle sample on here from Yuffie Dread, and just like one time and one time with all these steel drums and stuff in the background. Just really, really dope stuff. This album makes you so engaged in it because it's just a strong body of work, and it's ever changing, even though it has these same tones going on with it. You know, it's a jazz reference on every track. It's a time period reference on every track on here, you know, with him staying consistent in what he's doing on here. Like, I was really blown away by this. The next track on here, The Scrimmage, and he plays around with his flow a lot on this track. He goes from fast to slow on here, you feel me? And he has this was produced by Mark Infinite, and he has the previous producer actually saying the hook on here too, which was really, really, really dope to see too. That, you know, it was like a group effort that all these people are around making this project so far, because for it to have several producers on here, it sounds so streamless. I know everybody was just hands on, and that's something that Skyzoo just does. He's able to give you just well constructed projects. You feel me? He needs to be studied. For any rapper out there, you feel me, that you know, likes to do fusion work and likes to do all of this stuff, this album was really, really just a mesh up of everything we've gotten from him, all the mixtapes, all the albums up until this point in time, was staying true to a like real thoughtful message, and it's really just dope to me. Next track on here, Culture Ish, and it's like a blackish reference. You really, and you could just tell again, like he just really cares about the state of his community. He really cares about the state of his community. He talks about police brutality on here, political influence on here, religious influences on here, and how all of these things like divide us, but we really don't have no culture behind all of these things. I thought this was like just a fly project. Now the first single off of this album was Best Side is Burning. This is featuring Rashid Had. Well, this is produced by Rashid Hadid and has the Hypnotic Brass Ensemble in there playing the beat for this. And this is just for a cry for all of like major black communities across America to not let gentrification happen to them. And he just repeats it, LA, don't let this happen to you. ATL, don't let this happen to you, because he sees what's happening in the community firsthand. He does not want our culture to be taken away from us across the whole board. Where are we gonna go if all our hoods become gentrified? Like, we really do need to find a way to like try to do something in regards to this. And it's really, really sad that we didn't value our community on the come up as we should. And that's what he's showing you, all these different eras going on here. Next track on here, What Money Taught Us, featuring XIOLYAN. I'm sorry. This was really, really strong too, and he's just spitting, and it's just so layered. And he's talking about whitewashing on here, and he has a scheme going on with arms and stuff like that. It's just like really, really fly stuff. Like, how could you deny what is being put on this album? Last track on here, Soft Eyes, featuring Black Seal and produced by Toonami. And he talks about, like, listen, he talks about retiring on this track, and he having a conversation with Fonte, and Fonte, well respected across all the boards, especially in my book, and how he wants to give the game up, and it's time for him to leave the game. And it's crazy. I almost started crying hearing him talk like that, because that's not something that you would ever assume. But look at his career and look at all the work that he's put out. If he wants to retire, officially retire out the game, who could be mad at that? And who could be mad at his discography that he has put out there? You feel me? Nobody could be mad at that. But it was really, really hurt, like the last piece of, okay, well, all of this stuff is happening. We're dealing with gentrification. We're dealing with this. We're dealing with that. Now you want to leave the game too? It was really, really just like a heartfelt thing to hear him say out loud. But he feels like this because he's saying it to you. So this was just really, really fly. I know by now a lot of y'all have heard the project. That's why I really wanted to take my time in here, because it's a lot going on. It's just very powerful and meaningful. And I like albums like this because, like, you can listen to it with your kids. You can listen to it with older folks. You can listen to it with that type of thing going on there, and try to pull and gain our culture, make sure all of that stuff stays around generational wise, because it's just a really, really dope thing, talking about topics going on now, but using all these influences from the past in the right way. So let me know what's your favorite track on this project. Let me know what is your favorite beats, what's your favorite bars. As always, like I said, like, y'all, I don't know, like shout out to Mellow Music Group. I forgot to do that in the beginning of this, because they always have put out just fine, solid bodies of work. But this right here, y'all got to be on y'all grind. Like, y'all have to put this in for Grammy nomination or whatever have you, because hands down, like, best rap album so far. And I don't even talk like that early. This would really, really have to be it. Just with everything involved and going on here, this would really, really have to be it. So amongst all the madness and all the other stuff that has happened, I'm like, yo, this is my album of the year. I'm going to say this right here, right now. So let's see what happens with it. But I'm about to get out of here. I'm Madam Money. You can follow me on Twitter and IG at Madam Money Says. That's MADAMMONEYSAYS. And as always, I'll be seeing you guys around.
Ready, steady, aim at the target. I'm flooding the market, a break from the garbage. An artist, sensitive about mind pardon. No margin margin for error. Flawless be rarer. The black cat goddess, you
Walking with a panther.
painting these pictures with words like Samantha MacGyver. Alchemy on the track, make it lava. And I won't stop rocking
Till I retire.
Singular or plural, she rank numero uno.